In May 2001, a man went to a home in West Boise for a scheduled visit with his young son. His estranged wife had been staying there with her parents. 4 hours later, just after 12:40 that afternoon, a call came in from inside the house reporting a shooting.
Not good.
Never is.
No. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Lethal Library. For those of you that might be new, we are a true crime podcast straight out of Idaho, aka Taterland, aka the 2C, aka the Potato Wonderland. We're here. We like to follow cases out of our state because some get national attention, but not a lot, and some crazy shit be happening in the 208, as we lovingly call it. So I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Dani.
And Dani does all the research for our podcast. She has told me that this is going to be one that is hugely impactful and trigger warning for domestic violence, and also a large twist in the case. So I'm just very interested to hear where this is going to go. And Dani, take it away.
Resources used today are articles from the Idaho Statesman, that bitch,
Love her.
and the Coeur d'Alene Press.
Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, it was really weird that it was because this happened down here in Boise. But,
They were covering it.
the researching, I was like, where's this gap? So, anyways, found the gap. It was up north. So,
Love it.
James Lee Morrison and Heather Morrison had been married for a relatively short period of time. And in the months leading up to May 2001, their relationship had deteriorated to the point that they were no longer living together. Neighbors in the West Boise subdivision, where Heather's parents lived, had observed the couple together on multiple occasions during that period, including instances where Morrison came to the residence and attempted to speak with Heather while she declined to engage with him.
She was saying no thank you.
She was done. Jackie Dobra, who lived across the street, said she had seen the couple argue outside the residence and described a pattern in which Morrison would come over and talk, while Heather did not want to speak with him, stating, quote, he would come over there and try to get to talk to her, but she didn't want to talk to him. And they argued a lot, but it never got physical.
And I think we've all been there and sometimes, dare I say it, I know in my younger years, I might have been the one that was going over, and not to an abusive standard, I don't think.
Either you need to get your point across, you feel like you need to be validated.
Especially before cell phones, where you couldn't reach someone, or when cell phones were newer, and so you couldn't text.
But sometimes also, you want to look somebody in the eye.
So I get that. I do think this was clearly, if it's being noticed, and I know how this is going to end. Generally, this was not good, but people do this shit, and sometimes it amounts to nothing, and sometimes it amounts to a very bad thing.
For 2 months, Heather had been living at her parents' home in a quiet neighborhood on the city's west side after separating from Morrison due to marital problems. Mike Dobra, who also lived across the street, said the couple had not been married long and described ongoing issues in the relationship, stating, quote, I just went to their wedding a couple years ago. I think they've been having problems since they got married.
Ooh.
The residence where Heather and her toddler was staying belonged to her parents, Kathy and John Austin.
And that adds another layer of complicatedness to a relationship for sure. I don't care if you're married, living with someone, anyone.
Then, you have to you feel...
Someone's parents own the house, whether you're a spouse or a friend, like...
And almost, I feel like, especially parents, but even a roommate, and you're going through a breakup, you almost feel like you have to justify your behavior sometimes to other people.
Right.
And you're just trying to work through it yourself. And then you're worried about what other people think, too. So,
sticky.
Police had been called to the West Linstock Lane residence several times earlier in the year for disputes involving a neighbor and for vandalism, though none of these calls were related to any domestic violence within the Austin household.
Interesting.
Officers later stated there had been no prior indication that Morrison was capable of the level of violence that would occur. And again, no police reports involving the family suggested a history of domestic abuse inside the home.
And this is sometimes how it happens. Sometimes it just never gets. And every person's threshold of making that call, because I think as women, we know that making that call, if you don't already have an escape plan or anything, like it could just make things much worse for you. And that's why this shit festers.
Well, and she had already
removed herself.
And we all know that that's a very dangerous time
for
women when they leave. But again, no history of any domestic violence.
On record. No.
On record, no. So
you never know what's going on in other people's houses.
No, you don't. You don't. Okay. This is
Gonna
a
get
lot.
Tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the morning of May 16th, 2001, James Lee Morrison went to the home at about 8 a.m. for a prearranged visit with the couple's then 23-month-old son. And this home is just for local people. It is located between around 5 Mile and McMillan in Boise.
Sure.
Okay. Just to kind of give you an idea of where it's at. Once inside the residence, an argument began between Morrison and Heather Morrison. During that argument, Morrison produced a handgun, placed it against Heather's head, and positioned their child in front of them as he directed her down the hallway towards the master bedroom where Kathy was located.
I am trying to picture this.
So he grabbed her.
Gun to head.
Yes. But he had put the toddler in front of her and was like
walking with them?
Yeah. In front of them.
This is already a fucking nightmare.
And this is just a little bit more explanation. As they moved through the house, the child remained in front of them while Morrison kept the gun pressed against Heather. And they entered the master bedroom where Kathy was in bed. Once inside the room, Morrison opened fire. As Kathy remained in bed, she was struck repeatedly, including a fatal wound to the back. So Heather's mom, where she was staying, was in bed.
As she would be.
Minding. And he went in there and he shot her unprovoked.
And in there. Why there? This shit is so fucking wild to me. And I know that so many people have experienced crazy shit like this, but this is just, the why is so loud for me right now.
After the shooting, Morrison removed their child from the area and placed him in his room before returning to the bedroom where Heather remained with Kathy.
And so she's in there with her mother that's been shot.
He forced his way back into the room. He then restrained Heather using handcuffs and duct tape and then sexually assaulted her.
This is just so incredibly terrible. Like,
her mother is been shot.
And
he
why did he have to bring her into that room to shoot her and assault her? Like, this just shows the depravity of some people, that it's just truly unimaginable. I can't.
No, but I was
I
like,
can't
are
get-
you kidding me? And we've done some pretty dark shit. And I was like, literally, she was getting assaulted in front of her dead mother.
Yeah, and that you mentioned he had to force his way back in. So he went to put the child away, and she was clearly trying to keep him out and be defensive. And now he's breaking in and this is happening. Like,
And I couldn't find this in any
absolute
reports.
nightmare.
I couldn't because don't have the money to get so from the news articles I couldn't find this, but I imagine as I would be or you would be if my parent was shot, a loved one was shot in front of me, I would be trying to help them and be very concerned. And in a quick moment, the toddler is removed.
You have a chance. You have hope.
And then he's coming back.
And forced his way in
And she
again.
probably never suspected the assault at that point.
Who would expect that?
Yeah.
Who would expect that watching someone kill someone that they're immediately going to be trying to sexually assault someone? Whose brain is like, just killed someone, ready to go, and physically their body is able to do that? I'm so sorry this is so graphic, guys, but I don't try to rationalize anyone's crimes, but I know that for some people their motives make sense even though their behavior is not acceptable, atrocious. This is a fucking weird one. This is just no excuse, and absolutely what I'm trying to say is, this person, I know we usually reserve this for the end, but please choke and die if you haven't already. I don't know the end. Please die, because in society, no.
Morrison then moved Heather into another room where he again sexually assaulted her 2 more times.
Literally, what the fuck? No. Die, burn, choke. This type of behavior, it
is. I'm tearing. Like, I can't
imagining that.
No. And at this point, I mean, her mother, but I would also, as a mother, be very, very concerned about my toddler in the house.
And so you're probably trying to do things to appease,
be a little complicit.
Try to keep yourself alive for your child.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if they're going to just
because you've already saw the most unimaginable thing.
And so, no, like,
you don't know what the limits are of this person that you married, that you thought you knew, but you still have a child in the house.
Yeah, I think so many women can relate to this of, what would I do? And I think just as women, like, the protector in us is so strong.
Oh, mama bear.
So strong. And the risk analysis is so strong of, yeah, I could try to attack this person, but how likely am I to win? Or could I be complicit? Or could you're going through every fucking option in your head. And I know that so many people are going to be like, yes, if I was placed in that same, I'm sure there's a term for it. It's just a complete risk avoidance, and women have been put in dangerous situations so many times in their life, usually by the time they're in their 20s, 30s, that they know of times when they've tried to be aggressive and it worked or didn't work. And then you're like, that's going to change your whole of how you would handle anything.
For your baby. Morrison held Heather in that house for more than 4 hours.
And knowing that your mother is dead and that you could very well be dead as well as your child. Everyone. I mean, we've all seen family annihilators.
But the child was not injured.
That's incredible news.
It is really.
It's the only glimmer of hope that I'm seeing of positivity.
And during that course of the whole morning, Morrison expressed that he wanted to commit suicide before contacting police. So, could you have done it before you killed Kathy? Before you raped your wife? Thank you.
No.
And
No, they can't. They can't. And I think that that is even more cowardly. If I thought I was going to go kill a family, my family, and sexually assault someone and traumatize them, and I thought maybe I should just kill myself, I would really want to hope that I would just kill myself. Aren't men supposed to protect? How about protect your own family from the...
The only thing that I will say about, I mean, I shouldn't say the only thing, but at least this child was very, very young, being under the age of 2 years.
No, I can appreciate
to not have that whole situation. And if I'm remembering correctly, I didn't write it down, but I think he put him in a room with like TV, like in his bedroom with a TV or something to distract him, which, I mean.
So you can extend that. So the thought is there, but how it can't, you can't also be like translating this and you're raping someone in their mother's room with, well,
And like you said, like who
is aroused at that point?
That's sick.
Who is aroused?
That's sick fuck material. I'm just gonna say it.
Like, again, guys, we knew this was gonna be.
This is a brutal one.
Yeah.
But we have told you about
the act.
The act. So we're gonna tell you.
Let's find out
some court proceedings, which you know, my jam.
Yeah. How is this? What does this look like in the justice system?
At 12:40 p.m. that day, Morrison placed a call to the police reporting the shooting. So he called 911 himself. Officers responded, and Morrison voluntarily surrendered to the officers without incident.
Which I'll never understand. If I would never do anything like this, but I'm trying to put myself in the shoes. For me, maybe this is a hot take. I don't know how it is. I would absolutely be not existing anymore. If I had, there's no way I could live with that. And there's no way I would want, even as a selfish reason, living in jail's not fun. And if,
let me just.
Why do they want to live so much? Why are they fighting the death penalty?
Let me give you the word.
Tell me.
Narcissist. Thank you.
They just have to continue to leave their mark and find ways to influence and manipulate.
Narcissists do not kill themselves. They do not. They think so highly of themselves.
They're the most beautiful flower.
Yeah.
Why would you cut the most beautiful flower?
Inside the residence, officers located Kathy in the master bedroom. A .38 automatic handgun and 5 spent shell casings were recovered at the scene.
Got it.
It wasn't one shot. He unloaded.
Just imagining this, like playing in my head, I know it's probably never even going to amount to what actually happened. The shock of it and I am flabbergasted at this case.
Officers located Heather and the couple's 2-year-old son. Heather was transported with a child to St. Alphonsus Regional Medical Center to be evaluated. As investigators worked the scene, residents of the neighborhood gathered outside while the detectives and crime investigators collected evidence from the home. The residence, a blue house with a manicured lawn and a 2-car garage, appeared similar to all the other homes in the neighborhood, aside from the police presence and the yellow tape surrounding it. It was a very nice neighborhood.
Idyllic. It reminds me of like the Weeds, the show Weeds.
Oh my God, I need to be
Little houses full of ticky-tacky. Like, and all the houses look just the same.
Yeah.
Like, you would never expect.
So you remember the neighbor Mike Dobra who lived across the
do.
street? He contacted Kathy's husband, John, who was at work at the time of the shooting. They're 47. They're still working. These are not old people. We're just old.
Just grinding.
He described the call, stating, "I just got a hold of him and told him there was an emergency at his house. And the first thing he said to me is, James over there."
That tells you
So much.
Yeah.
Again, Dobra had commented that they hadn't been married long. He said, "I just went to their wedding a couple years ago."
And that it's always been tumultuous. It's just, I'm so happy that women are waking up more and realizing that you don't have to follow an A plus B equals C. Like, I must be married by, some girls were like, if I'm not married by 23, I'm a failure. What?
What's the word they use on Little House? Spinster.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an old spinster. No, like, and I feel like women are realizing their worth and realizing what they want, and that
I mean, this is
That you-
2001, and she's like, "I don't want this. I'm going to go home. My mom and dad, they love me."
was huge at the time.
Yeah, they love
And
my kid.
I'm sure he was thinking the audacity of her. Who the fuck does she think she is? The loss of control, the loss of. Anyway, women, protect yourselves. No one is going to do it for you. No one's coming to save us.
And she was doing the right thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that she anticipated anything like this happening, because, and maybe there had been physical, but there's no record of any physical issues.
And this does happen where
They could just be crazy, but not physical.
and then they're waiting to unleash and enact their vengeance and make their statement. And that's why they still want to live. They want to make their statement and recreate. They want to be the creator of their own story. Like, I hate this shit.
I know you do. I knew you were going to hate this. Debbie DeRunen, who also lived across the street, described seeing Kathy recently and described the events, stating, "I just can't believe it." She said, "I just saw her recently and she was out shopping with her grandson." Like, that grandbaby was it for
Spoiled.
her.
Set up.
I can feel that. I have that. Steph has that. They're just something special.
Grandkids are something else.
On May 17th, Morrison was in the Ada County Jail on charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and rape, and was scheduled to be arraigned in magistrate court. Morrison signed a confession to the crimes.
Let's fucking hear it.
Let's fucking go.
Literally, there is a fire burning in me about this right now, and I want to hear it. I want to hear what a narcissist says, their retelling of this. I want their lens.
Ada County Coroner Erwin Sonnenberg said an autopsy showed that Kathy had been shot 3 times, including that fatal wound to the back. Police records showed that Morrison had been arrested previously for several misdemeanor offenses, including 2 arrests for carrying a concealed weapon. Records also showed that police had been called to that residence 5 times since January for disputes with a neighbor and vandalism. But those calls were not related to any domestic violence.
Right. And those are petty crimes. And I wouldn't expect anyone to be being under the microscope for some vandalism. Neighbor disputes. I think that most of us can agree. I had a neighbor dispute that even as a fully formed adult, I was thinking of renting a backhoe and demolishing their house. Seriously considering it. Frontal lobe was not developed, guys. I didn't do it. But I was like, how hard is that? And this was in the time where everyone had a Ring camera. And so I was like, could I do it?
I'm glad you thought rationally about it.
I was just spitballing. I was just thinking.
I wish I could.
I was considering it.
But look what happens.
Yeah, and I decided against it.
Reason in your brain. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And so, just wild.
I want to talk to you a little bit about Kathy.
Thank you.
I don't have a lot on Heather's, but as far as her whole life experience, too much. But I can tell you about Kathy from her obituary.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
I'm so grateful when I can find him because I really feel like it lends itself to getting to know the
real context,
yes,
the real ripple effects that this shit has on a family and a community. 100%.
And it just makes them more of a real person when we're talking about victims.
Yeah.
So Kathy Ann Rowe Austin was born on April 21st, 1954 in Boise. One of 7 children.
7?
Yeah, lots. I don't know. That would be overwhelming for me because
That was the way, though.
It was. My mom's the eldest of 9. I can't even imagine.
The aunties are ridiculous. Rick has on both sides the same thing.
I love it.
I think there's 50-11 aunts.
Yeah, 50-11 aunts. I loved it growing up. All my aunties and cousins, but
they're so fun.
She graduated from Boise High School and later attended beauty school in Tigard, Oregon. In 1974, she married John Austin in Boise. And during this time in the Army, the family lived at several duty stations, including Germany, before returning to Idaho, where they raised their 3 children. After John's discharge from the Army, she worked to help support the family while he returned to school.
And that was not
badass.
That was
Kathy.
Very progressive. Like, wow. Oh, I just love her.
She remained in Boise, where her family and faith were central parts of her life, and her grandson was a special joy.
I'm sure she doted on that little boy.
Just the year before she passed, John and Kathy celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary with a long-awaited return trip to Germany.
Okay.
She had dedicated her life to her family, her husband, her children, and was a good
fitting in wherever.
And a good partner.
So adaptable. Like, just, do I need to be the mom at home? I'm doing that. Do I need to be working so my husband can further his career? I'm doing that.
It's hard for a military wife to work because you're moving all the time, like, to settle, right?
It's just...
And that she had this brand new little 2-year-old grandson that was
her joy.
I mean, the neighbor saw her at the store with him. She's like, yeah, this
showing off.
This is my dude. This is my little dude.
As we do.
As we do.
We be showing off those kids. Like, didn't make this, but
kind of did.
Kind of cool, right? Let me tell you all the cool things. Oh, this is so fucking pissing me off. Sorry.
On May 19th, officers addressed questions about whether the killing was connected to an earlier case involving Kathy's brother, Randy Rowe. They stated that her death was unrelated to the Rowe killings. Kathy's brother, Randy Rowe, had been killed 9 years earlier when his wife, Robin Lee Rowe, set a fire that killed him and their children.
I fucking thought that might be it, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions because I can't remember every detail. This family has been affected. So Randy is Kathy's brother?
Yes.
What?
Her maiden name is Kathy Ann Rowe.
And so she's probably been dealing with all this in the peripherals of her life and still has built this family and this support and doing all the things. Guys, I know it's only our second episode, and so it's a little rough audio, and we didn't know shit about fuck.
And we were talking fast.
We didn't know what we were doing. So it could be a tougher listen, sure. But that's one of our best episodes in my opinion because it's just so wild. It's so out of fucking control, audacious. Please, now, if you're listening to this today, please go listen to that.
Episode 2. It's our second episode.
So yeah, be gentle. Please be kind. We're still open to feedback, but just know we
think we're getting better.
I feel we have shown progress, but I can tell a difference between our first episodes and now. So just be gentle with feedback. And if you have feedback about other things other than like sound quality and
if you want
chattiness,
if you want to comment on that, that's fine too.
You
We're
can.
fully aware.
But with all that, could you imagine having? So for her, what would that be? Her sister-in-law?
Yeah, and her nieces and nephews.
So her sister-in-law is out lighting every fucking facility she comes in contact with. Not every that she comes in.
Damn
everything
close.
that she stays in on fire, getting trying to kill her friends. Like, oh my God. I cannot believe someone has gone through this level of fuckery.
I was fucking floored.
I am floored.
I was like, say again, what?
Pardon the fuck? Pardon the fuck?
This poor fucking family. And also, Kathy had to be going through, go listen to the Robin Road. She's a fucking cunt. And she's a horrible person, manipulative,
sociopath.
And years and years and years and years.
Sociopath.
And this poor woman, Kathy, had to deal with not only, it's one thing to have your brother pass away or have, your nieces or nephews pass away, but the way it was done in the public, it was huge. And going to court and all that stuff, I cannot even imagine. And here she is, just
working away at home, at actual work, like
bringing her child home. Heather, come home. Bring that baby here. Fuck that dude. I got you.
And they did. That is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I got you. Come home, sis. Come home. And then this psycho motherfucker, poor.
I want to Hulk smash our table out the window is what I want to do.
There's a window somewhere in this room. Sorry. And I just feel the whole Austin family had to deal with this before experience. And now here we are.
Yeah.
The trials and Lieutenant Jim Tibbs stated, in 30 years of law enforcement, I don't remember seeing anything like this, where one family sees two acts of tragic violence.
Unimaginable violence. This isn't just someone gets in a bar fight, someone does a little,
car accident,
a little B&E, someone does a little breaking and entering. Like, no. Unimaginable murders and violence. That's what this is.
Officer Angie Bevier stated that the fact that both siblings had been killed was, quote, bad luck, completely coincidental. And it really, there's no relation.
That's still, I think that's logical, but that's,
How tragic for this family. Like, it's just so sad.
If I heard someone say, well, it's just bad luck,
Yeah, it's kind of tacky.
I don't
actually.
think that's the most kind way. I'm not saying it's wrong, but
Well, let me see if she can redeem
like
herself.
bad luck is tripping over the sidewalk or tripping in front of your boss. Like, bad luck. And again,
Dropping your beer bottle and breaking it. That's bad luck.
I bought a bottle of wine and I dropped it on my driveway. Gosh dang it. I really wanted to have a nice drink tonight. Bad luck.
Yeah.
Losing on 18 lottery tickets on your 18th birthday. Extreme bad luck. That's me. That's totally me. Thank you, Sissy, for buying me those lottery tickets, but none of them were. It's not your fault. But because I'm an unlucky person, I wouldn't be, if this happened to me, I would be like, it's my gosh darn luck. And I know it's a flippant comment, so I'm not trying to like rail or cancel anyone, but it's like, this is why communication and words are so important. Because reading it back now, how many years later,
cringe.
It wasn't the intent, but there was an effect.
She should have stuck with just completely coincidental.
Yeah, cutting that part out.
Yeah. Bevier also said that there had been no warning that Morrison was capable of the violence and that there were no police reports involving the family. She described patterns seen in similar cases, stating, quote, often mothers are that support, referring to the situations in where abusers attempt to isolate their partners from family members.
And now they have a support and you want to cut that off.
Yeah. It's her mama.
I fucking hate everything about this.
I know you do. On May 26th, a preliminary hearing that had been scheduled for that week was postponed and reset for July 19th. And Morrison, of course, remained in Ada County Jail.
As he should, because what the fuck?
In July, the case was taken to a grand jury, marking the first time a first-degree murder case had been presented to a grand jury in Ada County. Morrison was indicted on charges of first-degree murder, first-degree kidnapping, rape, and domestic violence in the presence of a child, and was scheduled to enter a plea before the 4th District Judge Joel Horton. Deputy Prosecutor Jim Cawthon explained the decision to proceed by grand jury, stating, quote, we take cases to the grand jury where we have very vulnerable victims. And in this case, we had a very vulnerable victim who saw her mother get killed and then was assaulted. Because the grand jury stuff is quiet. It's not public. If they would have taken this to a preliminary hearing, everything would have been public.
And then everyone knows that.
So kudos for them for not making all of those details public.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of stuff came out in the newspapers, but she was not having to go and testify on a public level because the grand jury is secretive. So,
and you know what, Dani? You're going to hate me for this.
Smart. Hate's a strong word, sis.
I think, I thank you for saying that because I don't think you're going to hate me for this. I just know that I'm adding some more tasks to your task list because I've asked you about a few legal things in the last few episodes where I'm like, what even is that? We can't explore it here, but let's.
You want to talk about a grand jury?
I'm going to be honest, and I feel like some people are on my same page. What is a grand jury? Why is it a grand jury? How does it work? What are the ramifications?
I have been tasked. I got this. Next time, I'm not just going to...
Or we can maybe even just we could do it as a, like, social media clip.
Okay. Well, grand juries come up.
I'll get your whiteboard. I will buy you a whiteboard. Whatever you need.
I could give you a basic thing, but I don't want to do that without being fully informed.
And I know it's different in certain states.
Yeah.
But we can focus on Idaho.
I will do that research because it's fair. And I like fun facts for me, right? I missed it on this one. I should have done it. I apologize.
Well, and I've even heard in some states, if someone testifies to a grand jury, they're given immunity.
They can be. Yeah. They don't have to
And so then if you just go and say, yeah, I'll go talk, and you're involved, I would be not singing my guts out, but I'd be participating because then no matter what I say, you can't prosecute me. And I don't know if that's the case here or anywhere, like what the details are, but I've always I will be completely vulnerable and say, I've heard grand jury a million times on crime podcasts, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is.
I've been tasked.
It's like when the oil change guy comes and shows you the oil. That's how I feel about grand jury, where I'm like, yeah, sure. It was a grand jury, quote unquote. What the fuck is that? It leads to something. It's a step, sure. But anyway, thank you, Dani.
So next time,
To be continued.
next time that comes up in a case, I will explain it.
Okay.
Locked,
Thank
loaded,
you. Locked
boom.
and loaded. Hey friends, we want to talk about some of the subjects that are a little bit heavier on our podcast. Abuse isn't your fault, and there are safe, confidential ways to get help. Domestic violence doesn't always look the same. It isn't just bruises or broken bones. It can be about controlling money, isolating you from your friends, constant surveillance, or threats against your kids and pets. Abuse thrives in silence, and breaking that silence is the first step to safety. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24/7. Call 1-800-799-SAFE or 7233 or text START to 88788. You can also chat at thehotline.org. Advocates can help safety plan with you even if you're not ready to leave. If you're worried that your device is being monitored, it may be safest to call. Teens and young adults can also contact Love is Respect at 866-331-9474 or text Love Is to 22522. For Native American and Alaska Native survivors, Strong Hearts Native Helpline offers culturally specific 24/7 support at 844-7-NATIVE. If you or someone near you is in immediate danger, please call 911. You deserve safety.
And the case was set to proceed toward a jury trial in district court after Morrison entered a not guilty plea. Why?
Narcissist.
Prosecutors stated that if convicted on the charges, Morrison could face the death penalty. Yeah. In October 2001, Morrison appeared in court and entered guilty pleas to first-degree murder for the shooting of Kathy and to first-degree charge of rape for the assault of Heather.
And that surprises me because I think we all know some people think that if you're married that there can't be a rape ever.
True that.
That is truly the belief of some states' legislation and of some people.
Not anymore, but back in the day, it was really a law.
I think it still sometimes in some states isn't.
Are you tasking me with another research
marital rape? I think it's still out there.
I will research.
And y'all can help us. You can if you're an expert in the field, we would love to hear from you. Absolutely love. Because, we try to keep our finger on the pulse, but
always learning though.
Yeah.
Always learning.
We don't know everything. And with 50 states, it's so wild. I'd be very interested in Idaho if marital rape is even a thing.
I believe it is.
It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't. Just saying.
In exchange for the guilty pleas, Ada County prosecutors agreed not to seek the death penalty and dismissed the charges of first-degree kidnapping and domestic violence in the presence of a child. which were
they made a deal, and it was
those were the least
I
of
like
the
the
charges.
deal. Yeah, I like the deal.
Shut the fuck up. You're going to jail. Thank you. Bye.
And hopefully you didn't bring forward a super appealable case.
Deputy Ada County Prosecutor Julianne Meehan stated that resolving the case before trial would spare Heather from testifying, explaining, quote, "This has been so hard on the family, so sad and traumatic for the surviving victims. It is not very often someone is a victim and an eyewitness. It is an agonizing situation. I truly think this was a domestic violence situation. A lot of that will come out at the sentencing hearing."
And I agree. And can you imagine poor Heather being, and I don't want to say poor Heather, but can you imagine Heather being subjected to cross? The defense's job is to be defending, no matter how evil or uncouth or rude you think it is. I don't agree with it either. But if a defense doesn't put up a substantial defense,
Then you're looking
now
at
we can have
appeals,
a
appeals,
retrial
appeals,
or an
appeals.
acquittal.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll just acquit it and say it was so
You did
bad.
not have a good offense.
It was so bad you just get to go. Like, and so
They have to do their job, and it's brutal to victims sometimes. Oh, all the time.
and they have to come at it with that lens of, my client is innocent. What do I need to do to show reasonable doubt and to put her on the stand, especially since we know how women sexual assault victims are treated? Consider any rape case that you've ever heard and the things that are put up by the defense.
Especially in 2001.
Yes, and she watched her mother die and probably thought that she would die. The defense, it's par for the course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's right or that I agree with it, but they would be having to ask very hard questions, i.e., I don't even feel comfortable like saying this, but I can totally see it of like, are you sure you weren't into it? I bet you that not in that slang that I used, that question would have been asked. And even maybe it would have even been more aggressive.
Do you know what I feel like too might have been said is,
We've seen this shit.
yeah, did you try to hit him? Well, no, because
why
she's
did-
worried about her 2-year-old in the other room.
Yeah, why didn't you have a gun?
That doesn't mean she's complicit.
Why didn't you have a gun and you just shoot a rapist partner of yours?
And this
We
guy
all
is such
know.
a bad guy.
There's cases where rape, they're like, but you were wearing a thong though. Like, doesn't that say something?
And then the
So
victim's like, I was wearing a thong underneath sweats.
Or a thong underneath anything.
It's like, dude, they just try to make it. And
So
look,
that's what I'm saying is like
so
protecting
this is
her from
this is the best case scenario for this family. It really is.
in my eyes. Yeah.
yeah, just
And I
shut the
hope-
fuck
I
up.
hope
You're
they
going
agree.
to jail.
I hope they agree because it's so stupid how this shit goes down. But anyone that's been through it can tell you, you could be a literal nun and they'll be like, did you wear mascara that day? Did you
What's your hair?
did you make prolonged eye contact?
Oh my god!
There was a witness that said there was a prolonged eye contact.
I
see
I
that?
do believe it has gotten better as the years
Yes,
have gone by.
yes.
But we grew up in an age where
Even if you had an open and shut slam dunk case, I mean, what's the fuck that swimmer guy's name that was, they were like, well, yeah, he raped her, but he's got such a promising future. What? What? Someone fill it in the comments of, it's a very popular case, but they're like, but he's got a very promising, you want us to like,
fuck your future, bro.
you want us to hold him accountable for something?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do, because think of his daughters and his nieces and nephews or people. I'll cut it off there because I'm getting.
I knew this one would make you so mad.
I'll cut it off there.
Meehan said Kathy's family was present at the hearing and had been kept informed of the negotiations leading to the plea agreement, stating, quote, if it was going to be resolved, we wanted to get it done now, adding that Morrison could face life in prison on either the murder or rape charge. And she said, quote, we are pleased with the outcome.
And I think that families should always be consulted and given the options.
And it's not always happening.
And what that looks like long term. Because listen, I'm glad I wasn't a judge in the 70s, 80s, 90s in Idaho. Because I'd been like, death penalty, death penalty, death penalty. Which we know has been a fucking problem and has cost our state a lot of money. And we had made a lot of mistakes because that was allowed. I think it's so important to ask the family, what do they really want? Even if you do want the death penalty, here's what that looks like. Explain to them that the appeals and the justice projects and
me sitting right here, right now, if somebody murdered one of my loved ones or a friend, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Boom. I want you dead. But then the rational part of my brain
what is
would kick in. Do I really want to go to, all these appeals
and redo it again?
But you're hoping for the possibility of life without parole.
I think that knowing what a death sentence allows someone, and I think that I think that it should, because there have been so many death sentences, especially from the past before DNA, that people have fucking died and been put to death that shouldn't have. So I get it. I understand it. But when everyone knows, if everyone's confident of who did what, just having the label of death penalty, you are now on a completely different path, and you are on that path for the rest of your life. And
that's what you're saying. That knee-jerk reaction is, yes, I want them dead. But then once you rationalize what that looks like,
and if they don't have death, they don't have as many appeal possibilities.
Right. The death penalty brings on so many appeals.
And it should, but they will use it.
I feel like in our cases that we have done, it's constant appealing, like all the time. And then you're having to relive that. I'm waiting
for constipation medication, but it's not. This was an appeal. Who the fuck was that? 8? I don't know.
We're almost 60 episodes deep.
No, someone had a literal legal thing where they were like, listen up.
I need Miralax. Don't give me that.
I don't want the
fucking generic.
Yeah. You're literally trying to kill me via constipation. So you're going to be embedded in this fuckery forever. And listen, if you're a petty bitch and you're like, yes, bitch, I'm down for it for the long count. Props to you. But I feel like some people don't know. And
I would be, I had health issues. This is how, this is why I know that wouldn't work for me, like constantly going to these things. And there's people that do, and they're strong and can die on that hill. Like, I'm going to every fucking court date. That. Good for you. Like, I literally, after I had some health issues, did not want to even go to the doctor for anything. I didn't want to go get my teeth cleaned. I didn't want to go to the eye doctor. I was so fucking
You're done. You're
burnt out.
Spent.
On doctors for just upkeep. I'm like, oh, God.
No. And so
it's time for
I know that I'm not that person either.
No, I literally, they're like, why didn't you come in for your cleaning? And I'm like, I literally am so burnt out on doctors. And they're like,
sorry,
it's a teeth cleaning.
I didn't want to be here, period.
Like, I'm just so over the doctors right now.
The least of my worries.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I'm going to give a pass. So these people that can, these victims.
Props.
That can keep
and
going.
I think it should be their choice.
Yeah.
Their opinion of.
That's all that matters.
The prosecutor should be asking them, where do you want to go?
Yep.
And I hate when I hear that they're left out, because usually
It has
they're
happened.
But they're left out, and people are like, I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life, or they don't even try for it, and they don't consult the family. They're like, we would have been here. We want them. And I think that their opinion holds weight.
So much weight for me. Morrison pled ahead of the scheduled pretrial hearing, which is good because then the family and the attorneys arranged the agreement after determining they were close to resolving the case without proceeding to trial. And of course, Morrison's still in fucking custody, and his sentencing was scheduled. In July 2002, Morrison appeared for sentencing before a 4th District Judge, Joel Horton, and the court imposed a sentence of life in prison with 25 years fixed for the murder and a concurrent life sentence with 10 years fixed for rape.
Well, that's one way to do it.
I don't like the concurrent part.
Concurrent means they have to go together or after.
Together. Consecutive means
You do one, you do another. Oh. Well, if it was consecutive, I would have stood behind what I just said. Because
concurrent.
Then they can all count to the same years. All right.
During the hearing, Morrison addressed the court and the family, apologizing to Heather and Kathy's relatives, stating, "I would like to apologize to my wife for beating her and raping her and making her watch her mother die."
This is so wild to me. I don't even have a response.
My background is no excuse. You know, I have the background in my story, and I don't fucking care. I don't care. I'm not even going to tell you what his background is, because
for someone to say that, like,
I don't fucking care.
Why would you say that and not, like, give anything as to...
Oh, I know, because, you know...
It almost sounds like they're like, yes, I raped my wife, I killed her mom. Like, a happy
it's
thing.
no excuse. But that's also saying, listen to my excuse. That's in my fucking opinion. And
yeah,
I'm not even going to... Yes, he has some childhood trauma. Frankly, who doesn't?
And we're all not murdering about it. And so, in this
go fuck yourself.
Atrocious way.
Yeah. It's not even fuck you.
To enact the most harm. And no. Bye, Felicia.
The court considered arguments from both sides regarding the appropriate sentence, with prosecutors requesting life in prison without the possibility of parole. Yes. And defense attorneys requesting a fixed term of 10 years. What the fuck?
10 years?
Go fuck yourself.
You are shitting my dick. You are shitting my dick.
Judge Horton imposed a sentence requiring Morrison to serve at least the 25 years in prison and stated, quote, "I don't think I can use words to sum up the brutality of your crime."
Could not agree more with that. I could not agree more with that, because it's like, and that's a judge's very classy way of, like, shooting down. Because again,
judges
your defense is supposed to ask for as much as they can. It's like a negotiation, right? So you can't be like, well, I could do like 70 years. No, you've got to ask for something super low, knowing that you're not going to get it. I understand that. But the judge is like, this is fucking atrocious. Just
I have nothing to fucking say.
There's no doubt that this was fucking terrible.
I have nothing to fucking say.
So sorry to your defense.
I really feel like he should have got life without the possibility of parole.
I wish that he could have swung. it's not constitutional what I'm asking for, so I'll keep my mouth closed.
You wish he would have been put in jail with Creech.
With the duct tape fences and the razors? 100%.
I knew you'd agree to that.
If Creech could be a contract killer for the worst of the worst, I'd still hire him to this day.
Because he's been around a long time.
I don't have the power or money, and I don't know if Creech has the ability anymore. But I think that there was a time where he would, and maybe that was a missed opportunity. Just to think about it, just not to put in reality, just to think about it. Of like, Creech, did you know that this person abused this many kids? I know you love the slicey dice. I'm just telling you, no one would be mad if he did. Anyway, that's just a pure dreamland. Yeah.
Following the sentencing, Heather spoke about the outcome and the possibility that Morrison could one day be released, stating, "It won't bring my mom back. It's hard to say how I feel." Because I do feel like there's some relief, like, okay, it's 25 to life.
And that he can't get to her because he clearly wanted to enact pain.
The hearing included statements from members of Kathy's family, including her husband, Ron, who described the impact of her death, stating, "That event changed my life. I always
25 years.
imagined my wife and I would have many more years together. She was a good wife, a good mother, good counsel, and she supported me. The only thing that keeps me going is my children and family."
Oh my God. Like, this is just such a loss. Like, this is the couple that I think a lot of people would aspire to be. And I
then
feel
he
like
fucking like, I love the counsel, you know, as a partner.
he trusted her.
Yeah, as a partner, to have your partner be your counsel where you can bounce ideas off. And
yes, and they will give advice and nuanced, and I feel like...
And they know you.
Yeah.
And they know you.
I feel like so many young men have a picture of what a good marriage is. Not every young man, but I feel like this is when people talk about the American dream and think about relationships and how it was so common, like you just have to get married. I feel like these two really
they hit
the jackpot.
Yeah.
They went outside of societal norms for their time of her working to support him,
so he could further.
And this was, people would probably think they're weird or like, what the fuck? And they didn't care. They did what they needed to do for their family and for each other, for each one to be the best version of themselves.
Yep.
And I feel like that's gotten so lost. And I hate this, that people are still trying to bring it in, like these quote unquote traditional family values, because in this economy, we just got to make it work.
And this
how
is
can
traditional.
we work? How can we work together to make it work? Why can't we help?
Your partner is your fucking partner.
Yeah.
And that, I just love that he said counsel, because I love that I have somebody in my life that I can go and be like, what do you think?
And you know that they're going to give you an answer, and not just to further their own benefits, but they are willing to see your perspective. And
I just love that statement, that out of a good wife, a good mother,
that's why this
good
made me tear up.
A good counsel.
No, for a man in that time to label a woman as a good counsel is huge.
Smart and rational.
She was a smarty pants.
And she knew her husband and could give him some direction, which we all need in our life.
He trusted her.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, my buddy that works in car sales might not be the best advice. My wife that knows my whole entire life inside and out
is my best advice.
And again, young men, I know it's not everyone, but just take this with a grain of salt, but just let it sink in. This is the real goal. This is the real goal. A partner.
Mm-hmm. Tappy's sister, Chris Daniels, also addressed the court, stating, I have 5 kids, and my children are scared something's going to happen. Look at their family history, Jesus.
Yeah.
You can be murdered at any time. Just yesterday, I wanted to call my sister and tell her about the birth of my new grandson, but I couldn't. And I just sat there and cried.
No, that's the shit that keeps on getting at you, even sometimes years after you've lost someone.
Yeah. You just like, oh my gosh, I need to. And realize.
Because your brain is like, yes, this is. That sucks.
Prosecutors stated that Morrison brought that loaded handgun, handcuffs, and duct tape into the home and had expressed beforehand that he intended to assault Heather.
A sick fuck. This is someone that had a plan.
Because he was angry she wanted a divorce.
And for someone to spiral this much into this, listen, I'm not saying it's right. I can see someone going and shooting everyone. I think that's also extremely terrible. But someone to plan out, I need handcuffs, I need duct tape, because I am not just going to kill everyone. I have a plan of torture. This is
he wanted
another
to assault
level.
Heather because she was angry. She wanted a divorce. And Meehan stated, this murder and rape didn't just happen. It was cold, calculated, and callous.
No, he went there to enact
the worst.
Not only physical damage, he wanted to fucking deeply wound people. And they want to almost leave their mark on you like a tattoo. Like, that's my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
That's my opinion.
No, listen. Defense attorney Gus Cahill, who has been in many of our cases, who defends the defendant, and he's to be doing it, argued that Morrison did not intend to kill Kathy and instead intended to harm Heather and then kill himself, stating, I don't think the killing was premeditated. And adding that Morrison showed remorse and had the potential for rehabilitation. Now,
again, Dani, I understand that the defenses have to be defending, but for him to say that he intended to go there and just kill himself, that was the furthest from his fucking mind.
Well,
I don't know.
If he would have just showed up with a gun without bullets.
I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. All right. I knew this was going to get you riled up. It's
And
horrible. It's such a horrible, horrible.
I want us to tell these stories, and that's why I think it's important, because I think for so many younger women or women that even if they're not young, if they've never experienced a relationship like this, if they can start to pick out these little signs and know the actual risk, that is what makes it worth it for me. That is why I'm like, even though this has fucking triggered me to my core.
I know.
Dani, you brought all the nuance of it and all the things. So I appreciate these stories. I don't love them.
No.
But I think they're so fucking important.
Because, and we have stated this time and time again, the most dangerous time for a woman
is when
she leaves. And this is just proof of that.
Again.
Well, James Morrison is currently 50 years old and in the Central Arizona Florence Correctional Complex.
Cool.
Die,
choke, burn. All of
this is not going to make you happy. He will be eligible for parole on May 16th, 2026.
I want to go. Like, I want to be like, listen, that is so fucking unbelievable.
I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to get
I hope he
it.
doesn't. I don't think there's any amount of work if you're geared in to do this type of shit to enact terror, not just kill. I'm not saying that killing someone is no big deal. I'm saying I can understand how someone could snap or like why the motives, but to enact torture on someone while killing someone else when your child's in the home, something is not clicking. It's not clicking, Steven. Like, that's like in a few weeks.
I was shocked.
That makes me even more. I so feel bad for this family, and I hope that they do not give it to him.
He's not going to get it.
He's not gonna fucking get it.
It's the state of Idaho. He's not getting it.
Family, if there's something that we can do to fucking help, like,
I don't even know what it is, but if you need a body, a blaze, I'll
can
go.
try to get there, or we're gonna put this episode out, so hopefully people rally. Like,
I'm sorry,
it
you're
has to get out now. We've both been upset. I don't want you to feel bad.
Okay.
Anyway,
Go fuck yourself.
choke, die, burn, etc. You fucking absolute piece of shit. I'm so sorry to the family. Reach out if you'd like to, thelethalibrary@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok.
I kind of put this right up there with my Angie Leon.
Angie Leon, yeah.
These domestic violence that goes this far and are just
Yeah,
so
and we've
not
been
that murder's not brutal, but I can't fucking imagine. And anyway,
extra terrible for sure.
it really is, and I have emotion about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm a well-curated murder mystery gal.
We've heard the worst of the worst, and so that's
Yeah.
It's not like a badge of honor, but
Yeah, these are brutal, but
I think it's because we have friends, neighbors, family, co-workers that we know have gone through this, and this is such a consistent fucking theme. And if there was one thing that I could do in society, switch this off. Like, because it's so terrible and it ends in the worst ways always. Even if no one dies,
it's still bad.
Even
If Kathy hadn't
the
been
ripple
murdered,
effects,
if she had just been
raped or
tied up,
yeah,
and then watched her, I mean, like, you could just, it was just horrible.
yeah,
Okay, I have to say something.
say it.
All of our new subscribers,
Thank
you. We've been hustling for a year and a half doing this.
Yeah.
And this week has been fantastic and exciting for us. Please reach out if there's any cases that you'd like us to do.
Especially Idaho.
But we're open to the Pacific Northwest. We're kind of trying to.
We're in this area.
We don't want to we don't want to redo. Look, we're no Dateline, right? We can't compete.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do those big cases because
they've been done 20
and
times
we would have
over.
nothing to contribute at this point. But we'd love to hear case ideas, any feedback, and we're just super excited.
We're so happy, like
that you guys have
some of
really
you guys have
been
downloading the fuck out of the shit.
and we're downloading
I don't know
fuck
how-
out of the shit. We love it. So thank you very, very much. Also, we know word of mouth, biggest deal.
biggest. And
So if you know
again,
any murder mystery junkies out there that like these type of
yeah,
podcasts,
please
share.
give us grace on our first episodes. We know we didn't know shit about fuck, especially. So we know.
And we're not perfect right now either, but we're still learning.
We are gonna keep
We're just
growing.
a couple of gals doing
Just
this.
a couple of gals
Just doing
having a drink and discussing.
Oh, you're empty.
Oops.
Let's go get a refill.
We're gonna have a refill. We love you guys. 10-4 rubber ducky.
Fuck yeah.
We did want to add, if you want to submit a statement opposing the parole of James Lee Morrison, you can mail your letter to the Idaho Commission of Pardons and Parole at 3056 Elder Street in Boise, Idaho, 83705. Additionally, you can also mail your statement to paroleweb at copp.idaho.gov. If you're a family member or directly impacted, you can contact their victim services team at Parole Victim Services at copp.idaho.gov. Make sure to include his name and IDOC number. That's James Lee Morrison, IDOC number 66903. Thanks, guys.